giving is natural to humans. When we give with love, we experience joy. Abdul-Baha knew the feeling. His impulse to give was constant, a condition he urged us all to develop. The Master's spirit has influenced the Thomas family of Michigan, thanks to Naomi Oden, who taught June and Richard the faith.
Because of her service and also because of the way she talked about Baha'u'llah and her love for Baha'u'llah and quoted the writings from morning till eve. A lot of people do that. A lot of Baha'is do that. I think what really set Naomi apart is that she did that whether or not you were Baha'i and whether or not you were an adult or whether or not you were even a civil person, that it didn't really matter. She essentially looked at everyone as if they were in love with or could be in love with Baha'u'llah, and she talked to people that way. So that it was quite common to see her with a group of boys off the street surrounding her, sitting in her living room. And she would talk to them as if they were princes and princesses.
The thing that most impressed me about it was when she lost her home. Now, I'm talking about a very beautiful palatial mansion, in a sense. And when she lost her home, I recall talking to her about it and how badly I felt that she had lost such a beautiful home. And she said, well, don't worry about it because Baha'u'llah let me own this home long enough to teach the faith to you young people. And of course, she was constantly encouraging us. I recall she always quoted the Bab, that quote that goes, I have come to those who have been made low in the land and to make them my spiritual heirs.
What Mrs. Oden gave Richard and June transformed their lives, drawing them closer together and making them loving parents of Kimba and Ali.
Oh, a lot of times my friends have been in fights. I'll say a prayer like the Tablet of Ahmad or an assistance prayer. And so many times I've seen it work. Like they've gotten back together or how the problems have been solved.
Richard's work with inner-city youth in Detroit has made a deep impression on his son.
I think it's really important because when he was a kid, he was so lucky to have Naomi Oden help him. And, there's so many kids that that won't be helped and that he's helping some of them like Mrs. Oden. And I think he's giving them a lot of chance. Like, who knows where I would be, if she didn't help him the way she did.
Vernon Longy is an American Indian from North Dakota. To him, the religion of his ancestors flows as a tributary into the mighty river of life that has been replenished and refreshed by the revelation of Baha'u'llah.
As a Native American, as an Indian person, we give when we have too much of material things that we cannot use, that we have giveaways, and then the stuff is given to our guests, and it's detachment from our earthly treasures, that we don't need more than 2 blankets, we don't need more than one thing. It's very satisfying, fulfilling, that when we do something we feel good about and we can detach ourselves, like giving something materially away that we've taught a lot of, that say our dad or mother has given us something that we kept a long time and we put our pride in this object, that if we gave it away with good heart to someone else that could use it, it gives you a fulfilling, really a good feeling that you've detached yourself from this, because there's only one thing you should not detach yourself from: the Creator. And we are only here for a day, so if someone would appreciate what we have a lot more, it would satisfy them, to make them happy, would really be fulfilling to see a smile on their face when you've given something that you've cherished.
In Massachusetts, Lynn Kirk reveals how Fred Burhanian built a house in order to meet a special need of his fellow Baha'is.
You know, I'm not sure where we'd be without this house. Fred has just made such an incredible contribution to the school. When the school was starting, we had no place to go, and had searched and searched for some facility that would be large enough and warm enough and nice enough for us all. And he was building this house at the time that we were looking, and he almost insisted that we accept his contribution and that the house be the school. And that's what we did, and it's been wonderful. It's been wonderful. He put so much into it. I know he gets up every Sunday morning and cleans his house, and sometimes it's 3 and 4 o'clock before people leave, and then he cleans up afterwards. And we offer help, and he often doesn't accept. And it's really worked out beautifully.
People come from many communities, drawn by a loving spirit that's woven by prayer and Fred's deep desire to serve, to make others happy.
Of course, when you see all these Baha'i children, instead of getting lost in the community, getting Baha'i identity, and growing up as Baha'i youth, and in future will go and take the world in their hand as a Baha'i, you feel all the rewards that Baha'u'llah is giving to you.
To a Baha'i, the house of worship in Wilmette is more than the great teacher it was destined to be. It is a repository of acts of sacrifice, of women and men who are long gone. Today, there are those who continue to serve, to give of themselves. To Janet Bixby of Chicago, giving is an act of love.
I implore thee, O my Lord, by thy name, the splendors of which have encompassed the earth and the heavens, so to enable me to surrender my will to what thou hast decreed in thy tablets, that I may cease to discover within me any desire except what thou didst desire. When I went to the Virgin Islands, as a pioneer. When I got there, I discovered that blind people were, for the most part, kept in nursing homes or hidden away. There was no education for the blind. There was no rehabilitation. I was there to get a job, and I got one.
I got a light from a hall love. I'm gonna let it shine. Lord, I got a light from a hall love. I'm gonna let it shine. To you, I got a light from a hall love. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Lord, in my home now. I'm gonna let it shine. Lord, all in my home now. I'm gonna let it shine. To you, all in my home now. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Just a light of my Lord.
People in Darlington, South Carolina area enjoy gathering at the Richardsons, for there unity is really felt.
Just a light of mine now. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Moses Richardson's roots run deep in South Carolina. He's a man of the soil and a lover of God. His wife, Ursula, operates a secretarial service in order to support her husband's efforts as the state's coordinator of travel teachers and homefront pioneers. There have been difficulties. This wall, for example, is all that remains of the first house the Richardsons built. Though the Ku Klux Klan had set fire to it, the Richardsons remained, building another house in the same spot. Neighbors, like Blease Stokes, are happy Moses and Ursula stayed.
Well, Ursula and Moses feel like my brothers and sisters. I'm glad I've got to know them, and they learned me all about the faith and everything. And I've been a believer ever since.
Even when they shop, it's usually to buy things that'll comfort those who come to their home to deepen, or for fellowship.
What about serving and giving? It gives me a reason to smile. It gives you to feel good about yourself. We're doing what Baha'i has asked us to do. Not just me, but all of us to say we're Baha'is. You know, this is not just my duty, but it's for all Baha'is. Everyone's duty to teach his cause, the cause of Baha'i.
Give us this day our daily bread, and grant our increase in necessities of life, that we may repent and know thee, making a home in thee, and walk in our way.
Whoever enters this Orange, Massachusetts home feels the love and unity there. Emeld and Priscilla Gaignard have worked hard to make it that way. Their partnership extends into the professional world. They operate a trucking firm.
So you want to go and lower the body for Daddy? Thank you.
Even the children are involved, for it's an opportunity for them to learn the meaning of service.
Thank you.
There are other opportunities to plant seeds of giving and service in their children. Being an example has been the best way.
I have always admired Emel because as far as giving to the fund, even when we've been down to our last few $100s, he always makes sure that the fund check goes out. And that has left a big impression in my mind.
Through my entire life, from one goal to the next, has been assisted from friends helping me, a pat on the back, a comment of encouragement, a concept of how I should approach something, and I'm just trying to carry that one step further by assisting friends, giving someone a job, assisting someone with a labor project, and just sharing. It's an act of love, and when one gives, they always get it back many times over.
A moment of calm in the life of Sue Fouts, and a time to reflect on the true meaning of a recent car accident.
Right after impact and the crash, I verbally asked God, is this my last day? Somehow, being faced with my own mortality, I suddenly realized that my perspective was entirely different. It became very sharp. And I think God answered my prayers because he knew I wasn't quite ready. I was unprepared. And my thought was that I hadn't taught enough. I hadn't promoted the faith of Baha'u'llah long enough. I believe the Baha'is and the world over all are seeking happiness. And we run after it and want it and desire it. And yet we know, and I know now, that true happiness comes in giving of oneself, and one's resources, and one's very life to God. I believe this with all my heart.
It's a new day, an unprecedented time, when Baha'is the world over have the opportunity to do their part in erecting a new world order that will, at long last, establish peace on earth. To participate in this historic undertaking requires a commitment that some have already made. By drawing upon the guidance of Baha'u'llah, the act of giving will become a reward. Our contributions will bring about what the prophet Isaiah had envisioned a long time ago. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it.